What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode uh, of Manifested Love with Jay and Jolie-Rose. Uh, Listen, today's topic is a very serious one. It's something that people go through all the time. I know we normally talk about couples type things, and this is something that really comes up in the conversations, uh, and it's something that people deal with and go through in real life. Well, what made me think about this subject is I posted up a post earlier of a situation between a stepdad, uh, a stepdaughter, and a mom. And so often these scenarios happen. We have these type of scenarios. So I wanted to give my opinion on it. I wanted to flip it and put myself in a position and just kind of see what y'all think about it. See what y'all think about it. So let me get this set up so we can get ready to go. I hope everybody doing good. Happy Sunday to everybody. Today is Sunday, June 7th, 2026. I hope everybody's doing good. Um, it's good to have you. Okay, I got it now. Yeah, it's good to have you all here. But
Yeah, it's good to have y'all.
all right, yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I can be able to communicate with you when you talk to me. All right. So first thing is this. I'm explaining the situation. The situation was a stepdad that apparently had raised his stepdaughter uh, for 5 years. For 5 years, I don't. Well, I don't know if it was longer than 5 years, but I know it's 5 years. I believe he'd been having problems with the daughter going into teenage hood. The daughter being disrespectful, and on the post he said he been putting up with it for 5 years. So it may be longer. He been in the child's life. Well, the child actually told him that uh, she don't care for him and she wish he was gone because he's the only thing that's standing in the way of her real dad coming in. And the man felt disrespected. Uh, According to him, he's been, loving on her, just trying to provide for her and look out for her, and just for her to be disrespectful like that to him, you know, he he had enough. So his punishment to her was to not cook. Evidently, he was the one that do the cooking in the house, I guess. Well, he said he's not going to cook for her. He's going to, I guess, cook for the other kids. And the young lady, told him that he was being childish. So here comes the mom. The mom come in, and the mom says that he is being childish. He is stooping to the teenager's level, and he basically is the one that's in the wrong. And he tells the mom that she's been disrespecting him for a while, and she don't feel like she don't understand that he has feelings too. And when it was all said and done, the mom on that same day made the decision that he got to go. There was no discipline to the child. There was no nothing with the child. It was just straight up, he has to go. And he couldn't understand, like, why? Why are you breaking up with me behind this? Well, she kicked him out. Then she went on to tell the daughter that it's okay because she's planning to bring her father back into the picture anyway. So I felt, I felt looking at that scenario, looking at that video, I felt like number one, that was all set up. I felt like that was set up. It was set up for that young lady to stir something up with him. It was set up for the mom to come out and be upset about how he's treating the daughter or whatever. You know, it was all set up. I felt like it was all set up. Now I'm going to give my 2 cents on the situation. Well, I already just started because I said I feel like it's all set up, but I'm gonna say this. Now, I've been in a situation where I was a stepdad for just a little bit, and I had grown attached to the child. Now, the child that I was around was just a baby. She just was a baby, you know. And at that point, I didn't have no kids of my own, so I had became very attached to the baby to the point where I was the one raising the baby. Mama was just doing her thing, and I was raising the baby. And uh, eventually, well, the thing that in our situation, I'm gonna tell you what turned in our situation. Her sister came to live with us, to live with us in the apartment. Well, I was living with her in her apartment. Her sister came to live there as well. And when the sister got there, then she started kind of acting funny towards me. Then it got to the point where she told me that she felt like uh, she should give her child's father another chance. And even though, you know, my feelings was a little bit hurt, I wasn't in deep. Like, I wasn't 5 years in. I was only maybe 6 months in. I wasn't in deep. My feelings was hurt a little bit about it, but I respected. I respected it. You know, that's your choice. You know, I felt like honestly, I felt like everything was good until her sister got there. But it is what it is. Uh, Turned out she was off the chain crazy anyway, so it was a good thing that I got myself out of that situation. Now, flip it on my end. Well, let me give you another situation that happened. Now I'm gonna tie all of this ties in together. The other situation I watched, it was a man, a stepdad, that helped the mom raise her child from a baby all the way up into an adult. She became an adult and she decided, you know, she had a little boyfriend. They decided they was going to get married. And you know, uh, the custom way is for the mothers, well, the daughter's family to pay for the wedding. Usually, well, that's where it used to be. I don't know what it is now. Well, the stepfather, had agreed. You know, he treated her. She was like his daughter, so he was paying for everything. He paid for everything. All right, so everything is set. She already said that he was going to be the one to walk her down the aisle, and he was excited for her. And then all of a sudden, the daughter came to him and said that she want her real dad to walk her down the aisle. The real dad has never been around, never been in the picture at all throughout her whole entire life. Never was there. And then on top of it, the mom came and said that she thinks that her real dad should be the one to walk her down the aisle, and said something like they are family. So the stepdad said, okay, all right, I tell you what, you got that. How about this? I'm going to take my money that I paid for that funeral and I'm going to put it back in my pocket, and you have your real dad I mean, I said funeral. Oh Lord, forgive me. The wedding, the wedding, taking all of my money out, and you have your real dad go and pay for everything for your wedding. So the mom felt like he was wrong. The daughter felt like he was wrong, and uh, me personally, I probably should have before I went to that. I probably should have elaborated on to the other situation because I got Jolie here, and she's going to give her opinion about it. But I just wanted to give you both scenarios because all of this is step parenting type situations, right? So let me just finish this. So he, the daughter, well, his stepdaughter, uh, tried talking to him and trying to convince him to change his mind and not to do that, not to take back his money for the friend, I mean, for the wedding, and just telling him that she loved him and she appreciated everything that he done for her, and eventually she said it was her mom's idea, and I don't know whatever happened with the situation, but that's the last I heard of the situation because it was like a series that was going on. Their father was talking about it, but here's the thing. I want to I want to speak on these things because I know that uh, we all have an opinion about it. Everybody hasn't had the chance to be a step parent, but some people have, and I wanted to see what people thought about the situation and how would people react. I wanted to tell you like how I would react, and Jolie is going to tell you how she feel about the situations, and we're going to go from there. All right, so without further ado, we're going to address the issue of the teenage daughter disrespecting her stepdad that had been taking care of her more than 5 years. I'm just going to say that more than 5 years, and disrespected him, saying that he need to go so her real dad can come in. The mom ended up coming in, uh, wound up fussing him out, the stepdad out, and putting him out, and then went on to tell the daughter that uh, she did what she did, which is what the daughter want, because the daughter was celebrating, because she's going to give her father a second chance. So I showed Jolie the video, and I had my opinion about it, but Jolie had some valid stuff that she wanted to say about it also. So what do you want to start with? You want to start with that?
Um, let's start with the situation as far as the stepdaughter, I guess, being disrespectful to the stepdad in
Mm-hmm.
reference to him saying that he was not going to cook for her or fix her a plate or whatever.
Right.
Um, I feel like as a step parent, I feel like the disciplinary part should come from the actual parent.
Mm-hmm.
If there are any issues you have with that child, I think that it needs to be ran by the parent, and then the parent should address it. And then if the three of you have to come together and communicate about it, then that's one thing. If it's something that has been ongoing and there's no, like in this situation where there was no respect on the daughter's part,
Mm-hmm.
and let me just say this. I do feel from the beginning, even if she was being disrespectful, I do feel like it was wrong for him to not say that he would, I guess, fix her any food. I don't know if it was a plate or food or
Yeah.
whatever it
He
was.
said that he wasn't gonna cook for her anymore.
Okay. I do find that that was a little wrong on his part because he's an adult. And the thing is, just because you have children that's disrespectful, or just because you have kids that doesn't do exactly everything you say to do, it doesn't mean that you neglect them in that aspect, because at the end of the day you took on a responsibility to make sure their basic needs are met. So the basic needs are feeding, shelter, and things like that, and clothing. So to say that you're not going to fix her any food, and there's other siblings that you're fixing food for, that's like, mm. So in that aspect, I think that he was wrong as far as that. Now, as far as her being disrespectful, I believe that if she was having an issue, she should have called her mom or whatever the situation was, but never be disrespectful to him. And then another thing that I feel, a lot of times parents will, like, they may talk with their friends or whatever, and they may say certain things. Kids pick up on things. So say for instance, I'm a kid and I know that my mom and stepdad is kind of rocky, and I know I hear mom talking to her friends about, yeah, I'm gonna leave him or this, that, and the other. Sometimes kids can feed off of that. So she already know how mom is feeling, so she's feeding off of it, and she's just contributing to a problem that's already there, that does not even consistent of her. It's just in reference to the mom and the stepdad. So I would say, as a parent, be mindful of what you're saying. I don't care, even if you're not getting along, I think you should still have a united front in front of that child, because like I said, kids feed off of that, and she probably already want her dad to be back in the picture anyway. So that's just ammunition for her, to act out and do the things that she's doing. However, stepdad, he may have been frustrated and tired, but at any time, you are still the adult, and you still need to do adult things. If there's an issue or you're having a problem, just let them know, look, I fixed food, you want something to eat, it's here. That's it. Shut it down. Any other issue you have, we'll discuss it when your mom comes. That's it.
Okay, now you saw that video. Now, do you think it would have made a difference if he'd have just kept his mouth shut?
On the
Remember the
situation,
ending of the video.
right? Based on what the mother wanted, I think that it was going to eventually happen where she was going to dump the stepdad anyway. So, I think for him, I don't really think that he should have indulged in an argument with the stepchild at any point, because like I said, he's not her discipline. He should not never discipline her, because that's not his child at the end of the day. I don't think that it really would have made a difference, because I think that the mom already had it in her mind that she was going to leave him anyway. And maybe it could have been a plot to just stir him up, to just get him out the picture, because maybe she was wanting him to go anyway. So it could have been a plot or a twist, because for the mom to come at the end and say that she wants the child's father back, it's like, okay, so maybe it was a plot.
Seemed pre-planned.
Yeah, it may have been pre-planned, but as a stepdad, it's almost like, or as a step parent, it's almost like, if I can't come to my significant other and address things, and we come to a mutual agreement or a mutual understanding, and it's always my fault, or it's always this, or no. And I mean, at any point, if anything, the mom should have corrected the daughter and been like, look, you know what? I understand you don't care for him, but you are never to disrespect him. You know what I'm saying? That's any adult. You are a child, and the child needs to stay in the child's place.
Right.
We don't tolerate disrespect in this house of any kind. If you have an issue, you come to me, but you are not going to disrespect him. Period. So I think for her to even allow that speaks volumes.
All right, let me speak to that. I agree 100%. But let me say this. I feel like one, I'm gonna speak for me. Now, that was me, that was you. What was I doing? Anyway, listen, I have children. My children are grown now, but let's just say my children were living with me in the house. Jolie doesn't have children. So if my children was living with me and I was raising my children up from young, and Jolie was here as their stepmom, this is me. Number one thing, I'm not going to allow no disrespect of any kind from either end. I'm not going to allow no disrespect to Jolie, and I'm not going to allow Jolie to disrespect my children. So that would be ground. That would be ground rules from the start. Uh, and the second thing is when it comes to the discipline. Now we already know that, see, everybody's different. Some people feel like they can go into a situation, be a stepmom or stepdad, and they could just start laying hands on people's kids and stuff like that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I think that's a fine line, because I've seen parents, mothers, allow men to come in and discipline their kids right off the bat. Like, I'm talking about beatings and stuff like that. And I think that's a no-no. I think that's an absolute no-no. So if it ever was a situation where, let's say, it was some disrespect from my child that went to Jolie, I know first thing she gonna do when I get home is tell me what happened, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. She's not gonna put her hands on nobody. She already know. Like she know for herself. Like I ain't discipline her or nothing like that. Like it's just in her. She's not gonna touch nobody child. So she would let me know, and then I would take care of the problem. Now, on the other end of the coin, where my child was with the mom, and that situation happened, I don't know what they would do over on that end. But me, I would prefer for my child to be disciplined by her mom and not by her stepdad. But I can't always speak for how things went over there because, a lot of people, they don't talk about what's going on in the household. So the dad or the person that's not there be the last to know about what's going on in that household. But as for this household, there would not be no disrespect. And in that scenario, that situation, I would have checked my child. First of all, the child was talking to the man you know, like he's one of her little friends. Like, no, you don't talk to no grown-ups like that. When you talk to grown-ups, you talk with respect. You know, if she had an issue with him, then she should have talked to her mom, and then maybe they could have called a family meeting or whatever, and they could have discussed it in a responsible, respectful way. You just don't go popping your mouth off to your stepdad or to any grown-ups. So I think the mom was wrong in this situation, in my opinion. I think, uh, with the stepdad, I think that was his way of punishing her. I don't think he had no rights or anything in punishing her in any other kind of way. So he figured, why should I keep cooking for you and you're going to keep disrespecting me? So if in addition to what he said, me personally, I would have said, let your mom cook for you because you respect your mom. So let your mom cook for you. That's what I would say. But in that case, I believe he was done. I believe he was done anyway. I believe it was already something that was in the writing. It was written in the sand. Mom was planning on dumping him and bringing that child's father back in there. So, regardless how he would have went about it, he was out of there in that situation, I feel. Now, the other situation. Let me see. Is there anything else with that? Oh, let me speak to this. The mom at the end of the video, the mom was telling the daughter that you shouldn't put up with that from nobody, and she did what she did because he was wrong and what he did, and you never let nobody treat you like that, and I'm he's gone, he's never coming back, and I'm about to give your father another chance anyway. Like, even that, in my opinion, you telling your daughter to operate like this. You telling your daughter that it's okay. Evidently, for her to be so confident that that child's father is coming back there, there's been conversations. She's been talking to that child's father. She's been making plans with that child's father. And I believe that child know. Because that child said herself, the only reason why my dad ain't here is because you here. So why would she think that? Like Jody said, mom might have been talking and daughter was listening. So I just think the way that she did her parenting with that child, like she's teaching that child to do stuff like that. And listen, that situation might have went smooth with the mom, but the daughter, she can go grow up and try doing that to some young dude, and it could go total opposite. That man was nice about packing his stuff and leaving. You know, some men, they go to the extreme. You know, and so you got to be careful. You just got to be careful in how you what you doing around your kids, what you saying around your kids, and how you teaching your kids. You got to be careful with that. But that's her. That's her child. You know, I just disagree with it. Now on to the next subject. The situation with the dad. Me and Jolie, we had a real good. I gotta get comfortable in this chair. I'm sitting sideways. Hold up, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, the situation with the dad, well, the stepdad, raising the stepdaughter since she was a baby. She grew up into an adult. She decided she met the one. She decided she gonna get married. She allowed her stepdad to do everything that a real dad would do. Pay for her wedding, give her everything that she wanted. Just to tell him, oh, I don't want you. Oh, let me back it up. She told him that she wanted him to be the one to walk her down the aisle. Everything was set. And then all of a sudden, she come out one day after this man invested all of his money and stuff into the funeral. Well, I keep calling it funeral, into the wedding. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Joe. Into the wedding. She just come out the blue and say, well, I decided that I want my dad, my real dad, to walk me down the aisle instead of you. Now, what he did was, okay. He was hurt and he was pissed. So he said, how about this? And then top it off. No. Top it off. Mom is co-signing it. Mom is co-signing, talking about, yeah, we family. She need to have her dad there. What? We family? Let me give you some background. Dude ain't never been there the whole girl's life. And I believe the girl was about 20 years old. He never, ever was there throughout her whole entire life. And mom sit there and say, we family, and she need to have her dad walk her down the aisle. So, there's two things in that I got. One, I felt like, in my opinion, I felt like that was kind of messed up on the daughter's part. But just a little pinch, I can understand it, but just a little, just a little. Now the mom on the other hand, her co-signing, talking his family stuff. Oh no, I think he need to make some changes when it come down to that relationship with that mom, because that sounds shady and shicey to me. That sound like mom might have some conversations going on with that girl's father too. Like, why you vouching for him? He ain't been in your child's life throughout the 20 years she was here. Like, or however many years. You vouching for him and butting me out for him? Nah. So, the stepdad says, well, I tell you what, I'm going to take my money everything that I paid for, I'll do that. I'll take it back, and you get your dad, your real dad, to pay for everything. Now, some may say that's petty on his part. In fact, the daughter, no, in fact, the mother did say that was him. He was being petty by doing stuff like that, and the daughter was saying, that was wrong or whatever like that. But when the daughter see that he was really serious, because it was more than one, video they did. When the daughter see that he was serious, the daughter confessed that she didn't want to do that. Her mom put her up to doing that. So, but he was at the point where, he was fed up with the situation. I don't know what happened down the line in this situation, but that's all the information that came from that case. And I'm allowed Jolie to speak on it. Then I'm gonna speak on it, and I'm gonna flip it and speak on it from a father's point of view. So, Jolie, what you got to say about that one?
Well, originally, she told the stepdad that she wanted him to walk her down the aisle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he genuinely was paying for the wedding and everything from his heart
Mm-hmm.
because he took on the role as just not being a stepdad, but as a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she came back to him and told him that she wanted her real dad to walk her down the aisle, if I were the stepdad, I probably would have been hurt a little bit, but I would have took it from a standpoint of maybe she's trying to build something with a dad she never knew or never had. And at that moment, I would have kind of took myself out of the situation because I had an opportunity to be with her all of her life. And this man didn't for whatever reason. And now she wants to, because sometimes young ladies, they crave, even though you have a stepdad, you still crave and yearn for what was my real dad like, or I've never had a relationship with him and I want a relationship with him. So I would have took it as that, and I would have gave her that, and I still would have paid for the wedding, not because of the fact I would not have taken that from her. I still would have paid for it. I wouldn't have had an attitude as to where, well, if I can't walk her down the aisle, or if I can't do this, then I'm not going to pay for it. No, I still would have paid for it because it's coming from the heart, because I love her and I want this day to be a great day for her. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm not the one to walk her down the aisle, I just would have took it as if she wants to build on something with this man, and I'm going to let that be. However, in the mom's case, when the mom came and the mom was saying that we're a family and this, that, and the other, now that would have been a little suspicious to me, because I would have been like, well, what do you mean we're a family? Mm-hmm. I have been family there with her. This man, she do not even know this man at all. So that would have been a little suspicious. But then you said that the daughter came back and said that this was something that she didn't even want to do. Mm-hmm. So with all of that being said, I think that I would have had to question my marriage at that point. I would have had to question, why is it that you feel that this man that has not been there, you're considering him as family, and granted, he is her biological father, but he's not the dad that's been there the whole time. And he just, for whatever reason, he just was not there for her, but he wasn't there for you, and now you're talking about we're a family. Mm-hmm. So that would have raised the eyebrow as far as with the wife. Me and my wife would have had something to talk about. We would have had to go further into this. But as far as the daughter's standpoint, I would have not held it against her. Because I loved her, because I raised her, I would have still went ahead and paid for that wedding. Even if it meant I had to sit in the audience and watch another man walk her down the aisle, I would have done it out of love. Because I would have been like, well, maybe she's trying to get to, know her father. But then when she came back and said that her mom, I still would have gave it to her. Regardless of what the situation was. But I would have been questioning the wife and trying to figure out what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was talking about this earlier, initially, I said, heck yeah, I agree with the stepdad. I agree with him. Like, how dare you, after all of these years, I watch you grow from a baby. I raised you as my child. I paid for everything that you wanted. Everything I went to, I taught you how to drive. Everything growing up, the daddy daughter dances, I was there for everything. You get married, no problem. However you want your marriage, however you want your wedding, I got you. And we get there, right there, before the wedding, and you tell me that you don't want me to walk you down the aisle. You want your real dad to walk you down the aisle. Now, off the bat, I'm going to think you're joking. That's one. Like, you joking, right? Then once you made it clear, no, I'm not joking, I'm serious. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be feeling like the father. I'm gonna be feeling like the stepdad, like. And then to hear the mom talking about this family crap when this dude was nowhere around throughout your whole life, and now you vouching for me to be out and for him to be in, and he not bringing nothing to the table. He not offering no money to help with no services. But you want to accept my money to pay for the services, but you want me out? I'm saying, heck no. Heck no. Heck no. Off the top, I'm saying heck no. I'm going to withdraw my funds. But after talking to Jolie, like, I'm like, you do love the child. You do love the child. You don't want to hurt her. You never wanted to hurt her. You just always wanted to raise her. You wanted her or him to be a good child. You want the best for them. I guess I have to reconsider a little. And the reason why I say this is because I'm a dad myself. Now I'm going to flip the script. Now suppose my daughter come to me. Now I had relationships with my kids. It might not have been the best, but I've been in their life throughout their lives. I've raised them, taught them things, all kind of stuff. I've been there. But they have had step parents. They have had step parents in their life. So let's say my daughters, for instance, or my daughter come to me and say, Dad, I'm getting married, and I want you to walk me down the aisle. Now, I'm her real dad. So, of course, I'm going to be pumped. I'm going to be like, excited. My baby, she getting married. And I'm going to be telling everybody, yes, my baby getting married. Blah, 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 blah. I'm all over the place. But then she come back and said, Dad, I changed my mind because this man, which is the stepdad, I grew up around him, and I don't want to hurt his feelings by having you be the person to walk me down the aisle. I'm changed my mind, and I want him to walk me down the aisle. Now, although I know for a portion of her life, this man has been there in their household as a father figure, I'm not going to be okay with that. Now, I'm the dad talking. I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm not going to be okay with that. In fact, until I calm down, I may not even show up for the wedding. I'm saying this because I know that I'm going to have regrets. I'm saying this looking into the future. If I did not go to my daughter's wedding because she kicked me off for being the person her father to walk her down the aisle, I'm going to be having regrets about it. But I don't know which one is going to be have the most weight. The fact that me not being there at her wedding, or me being at her wedding, sitting on the sideline. That will be hard for me. And I've been in their lives. That would be hard for me. Now, somebody that wasn't in their life and thinking, and let's say I wasn't in their life at all, and I just Bogart come in thinking that I supposed to have the right to walk my daughter down the aisle. I ain't did nothing for them throughout the years. They was blessed enough to have somebody that was there, that helped them, that taught them, that raised them. I would never even think in my mind, as the dad, that I should be to have the right to walk her down the aisle. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I ain't been there. 20 years of your life, I ain't been there for you not once. But I do want a relationship with you. Okay? It's okay with wanting a relationship. Okay, we can work on that. But the right to walk you down the aisle, I feel as your father that was absent throughout your whole life. But you had a man that was there, looking out for you. I be grateful for what he has done for my child. And I be honored that he walked my child down the aisle. I wouldn't feel like I deserved to bump him out the way and I walked down and I ain't did nothing for my kid. I just, no.
What if the child is very adamant about you doing it and not the stepdad?
I think we all would talk. I think we all would have a talk about the situation. And I would want to fill out the situation. If I see that this man is hurt from no, I would tell my daughter, no, it's not right. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. But in all right and all fairness, this man has been there for you, and I thank God for him. I think he's the one that should walk you down. And then on top of it, I'm bringing my broke behind in there, ain't paying for nothing. It's one thing if I'm coming in there and saying, nah, bro, you take your money. I got this. That's one thing. But no, I'm coming in broke and telling that man step aside. Nah, I don't, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the circumstances. I think it depends on the relationship that the child have with the stepdad. I think there's a lot of factors that come into play when you know, talk about things like that, because they could have a stepdad that's been there all their life, but they don't have no kind of relationship with him.
That's true.
He was abusive. He wasn't this. He wasn't that, and they can't really stand him.
I get it.
So, I think each situation is different, and like I said, it determines on the circumstances. It determines on basically the players in the game, if that makes sense.
Yep, and I think everybody should be able to come to an agreement with it. But in that situation, I forgot to mention. The daughter came back to him. I forgot to mention what the mother said about that family stuff. Now, me and her, we gonna be going our separate ways because she just told on herself. That's one. The daughter came back on top of what the mother said about that family mess and said that, Mom, I didn't want to do that. Mom put me up to that.
That's another factor. The thing is, how old is this girl?
I think she's like 20, 19,
Okay.
20.
You're completely grown.
But you know, some kids still be impressionable over their parents at that age.
But still, when it comes down to making a decision as far as being married or whatever, even if someone did put you up to that, you still got to bite that bullet, because at the end of the day, you're the one who made that decision, regardless of who put the thought in your head or who didn't put the thought in your head. At the end of the day, you came up with that you agreed along with it. So you have to take responsibility and accountability. That's just like if you commit a crime. You can go in front of a judge and say, my mom put this in my head. But at the end of the day, if you go out there and do it, you're going to have to suffer the consequences.
Well, like I said, as a parent myself, uh, I give you my view on the situation. I try to be, you know, uh, I try to get a benefit out of doubt in the situation. I try to consider all parties involved. Um, but when it's all said and done, y'all gotta have a conversation.
Mhm.
Y'all gotta have a conversation.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I have kids. If any of my kids decide that they want to get married, I don't know whether or not they would ask me to be the person to walk them down the aisle or whatever like that. Nowadays, uh, you know, people just do whatever it is they want to do. It's not really no whole lot of tradition type stuff going on. Um, a lot of people is just running off and getting married anyway. Like, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But if you mentioned, you touched on one thing. Now, if it was a situation where my kids was in a situation with a stepdad that was abusive to them, and then you coming and telling me you want that person to walk you down the aisle instead of me, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fired up. I'm gonna be fired up out there. Like what? Yeah. So it's everybody is different. Everybody is different. But I just wanted to have a conversation. Listen, we talk about couple stuff here, and that's one very very important area. Like when you dating nowadays, but probably 7 out of 10 you're gonna have uh, someone that has a child, someone that has a child, and when you're with somebody, you're gonna have to accept them and their child and their children. If that's not what you want, then you know from the start that, hey, I can't roll with you like that. But if you decide that that's who you want to be with or whatever, you have to accept their child. And I feel personally like people should have uh, boundaries when it come down to kids. I feel like it's something that should be discussed. I don't think that a woman should just let a man just come in their house and start putting their hands on their kids. I think that women should watch out for the men that they bring around the kids, and vice versa. I feel like women should watch. I mean, men should watch the women that they bring around their kids. Because listen, whoever you have your kids around is going to be an impression on your kids, and you want for your kids to be good. You want to be able to have the right type of people around your kids. When you go to work, you want to know that your kids are safe. So just be careful in who you choose. Don't be so quick to just bring people up in your house just because they cute. Uh, you know, the devil's busy. Keep that in mind. The devil's busy. So get to know people before you start moving in, and especially moving around your kids and stuff like that. You know. But I just wanted to talk about that. That's because kids are a part of your relationships. You know, especially step kids. That's an important part because a stepchild can help or ruin your relationship depending on how you have things set up in your household. So just watch out for that. Just watch out for that. And other than that, um, that's all I got for now. Let me see. Got anything else to say about it? That's all I got for now, and I hope that this information that we gave you all today could be helpful. Um, I pray that you receive it and receive it in love. There's no criticism. Like one thing that we say on this channel, all opinions are welcome. Everybody's entitled to their opinion about things. You know, some things we may agree on, some things we can agree to disagree. That's fine. But just always know that your opinion is welcome here and that we love you. We appreciate y'all coming and enjoying our videos. And that's all we got today. We got the lovely Jolie here giving some commentary on the subject. We always happy to have her here. Uh, Sorry, the last video she did was a no sound, and I hope this video don't be like that, cause I'm gonna be mad, cause I made sure I turned my volume up. But that's all we got for now, y'all. As always, y'all, we love y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check your notifications. Been hearing about people being unsubscribed from people channels a lot. So just keep up on that. And we'll see y'all in the next one. As always, love, peace, and blessings to all of y'all. All right? You see you.